so sorry. I just completely lost internet connection. So I'm passing the honor to be our host today to InanKy.
Yeah, we are back, so now we can answer some of the questions.
They didn't hear the answer to the question about Signify actually.
Because that was the moment everybody fell apart. So yeah,
So,
will there be Hell Knight Signifier?
well, there was a question about the chance of him being in the game, and as I said, but nobody heard, the chance is so okay, it's about 100%.
We have enormous echo actually.
I think Lisa's mic because
Yeah,
of the
all is
phone.
fixed. All is fixed.
I
Also,
I turned it off intentionally.
Yeah.
Jekyll 201,
Wow.
we answered your question a bit earlier. There won't be such an option for to measure the spellbooks.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think I think the
uh,
echo comes from Lisa.
yeah, it seems like that.
Well, I don't know what I can do because I already put in the headphones. So
Um,
what else?
Can you turn on your mic sometimes?
Okay.
Oh, it's my fault? Interesting.
okay. It's strange. Um,
I hear you both perfectly.
so the problem is,
But I hear myself sometimes. Now I don't hear myself actually.
yeah, and now I don't, and there is no echo now.
Is there echo, guys? Really sorry about that. Um,
Okay,
okay, nice.
so it's
That's great.
probably Lisa's
It
mic.
was weird. Yeah, it was something with my mic. Sorry, guys. There's a question from Bara Daddy Kidora. Will you include the option to dismiss your casted spells like Web, Pete, and others?
Oh,
It was
it's
kind of
one of
annoying
the
in
things we
Kingmaker.
really want to do. Yeah, we know that it's annoying, and uh, waiting like 10 minutes till your web goes away is a little bit bad, really bad.
And there's a question from Tactical Therapist. Do you need to play the first Pathfinder game to enjoy the second? And no, you don't need. They are two separate games. It's
Yeah,
indirect sequel, so you can just jump into the water and play, and there might be some small things like a cameo from Pathfinder Kingmaker that was reached in our social goals, but nothing more actually. And Strategy really insists on his questions. Will you have the Celestial Servant feat available for Azimar so we can have a Celestial Dinosaur pet?
actually, we haven't thought about that one. Maybe yes, maybe no. Uh, the list of the feats we are gonna do, new feats, is not set in stone for now. So I can't answer this question with any kind of accuracy.
FasterG97 again asks about Rock Trigger Mansion spells, and I think you answered it that we might think about them, right?
Yeah, maybe the stream died before I
Yeah.
could answer it.
Also, I remember there was a question. I recall there was a question about when will we post all the archetypes. It is really actually interesting when they might all be finished.
Well,
By the beta or later?
it's a hard one because, as you know, from the Kickstarter, we'll have a little bit more archetypes than in the Kingmaker, so it will take some time to make them all, and And when I say sometime, it's probably like ages. So I'm not sure when all of them will be done.
But I think we'll try to update you when new ones
Yeah,
are ready.
for sure. When we finish some of them, when we're sure what they will be, uh, I think we will share with you the new ones, especially the new ones, because I think those are the most interesting.
Also, Afropoet 89 asks question: will you have more to weapon fighting feats?
Uh,
Well,
I don't think we really planned on any more of those. Maybe to weapon shield, but I actually don't remember if we already have it.
uh, oh, the question I saw earlier in Discord discussion from bulk of the fear. The Assassin Prestige class is really bad in Tabletop Pathfinder. What are your plans to better adapt the class to an adventure path with enemies that have high fortitude saves and an immunity to poison? Can we
Uh,
share some insight about that?
okay, a little bit about the assassin. Yeah, in tabletop it's just plain awful from the mechanical standpoint. Uh, it has its own like feeling, fluff, and all that stuff, but mechanically it's awful. Uh, we want him to be better, and we already made him better as in PnP you can't actually use the death attack in combat at all. Uh, it's debatable and can differ from gem to gem, but it still needs 3 rounds and all that stuff. And we actually added some poison abilities, innate poison abilities for assassin, which are not present in the PnP. And there are different mythic powers that can actually help you with poisons and demons, and even undead. So yeah, you will be able to use poisons and assassin in the final version of the game.
That's actually nice. And about Mythic Paths, uh, w- did any of the interesting spells get into the alpha version? For Trickster, for example,
Well,
could
yeah,
we
there are
share?
some mythic spells in alpha, and I won't say anymore as people from alpha will probably have the opportunity to see them, and others will see them later. One of the reasons we make alpha an alpha version is to players to look at the
Actually,
spells and tell us their feedback. So maybe in beta they will be a little bit different.
oh, that's why you don't want to share some
Yeah.
interesting ones. Sure, that's a really good point. Uh, mm, there are a lot of our questions actually. Uh, Tactical Therapist asks about the tutorial.
Oh, there will be a
Yeah,
total
a lot of
tutorial
improvement.
overhaul in Wrath, and there's actually uh, a funny thing about tutorial to Wrath is the person who will make the tutorial, who is making the tutorial, is a person from our team who doesn't know much about the system. Uh, uh, you can think, well, how can he explain to others if he doesn't know himself? But it's the other way around. He can ask the people who know the questions that are really interesting for a player who doesn't know how to play the game. So I think the tutorial will be great, and as I said before, it will be much, much, much better and deeper.
I would actually want to deepen a bit about that. We had plans for small guides for new players on our YouTube channel, to describe some of the mechanics for our game. From a standpoint of also someone who doesn't know much about system, who could also ask other people, and they will also help new players to get into the game and play it. I think it will be a good thing for our community, and it will allow people to learn the game faster and get some useful tips and tricks from some of the team members actually. Um, there also a question from Stata Gemini if how Mythic will affect animal companions, if it will actually.
Mythically. Uh, as
That's a
we
good answer.
Okay, as we said in our update about animal companions, they will be they will have mythic feats if their master has, and there are several mythic abilities which are closely tied to your animal companions, which make them stronger, faster, better, scarier, cuter, all that stuff.
Uh, there's also an interesting question about weapons from Fast HD97. It was mentioned in the Kickstarter that there will be a way to purpose weapons for the types you can use. Can you share anything about that? I
Oh,
actually don't recall.
I think we were talking about special. Uh, if I remember correctly, it was about relics you will find during your crusade. That there will be some weapons which are uh, not set in stone. Their final form is not set in stone, so you will be able to choose one of the several ways to make something out of a relic. So it's not like you'll be able to make a glaive out of a longsword. No, that won't be possible.
There was some interesting thing that I actually missed now. Uh, but where was it? The chat is a bit fast. There was a question about our home army part from Jekyll201. How are you implementing the threat that the demons pose during the home army parts? Will there be a timer, or will demon armies march against you?
Oh,
Do you know anything about it?
they will totally march against you. There will be no uh, like you will lose in 3 months. We won't do it in this game. They will try to kill you, like physically. Go to your house, burn your villages, uh, sacrifice your people, and all that stuff.
Or teleport into your tent
Yeah,
and try to kill you.
or not.
All the options. Or not. Um, there was an interesting question about paths. I think I'm trying to find it now. About the the number, I think, about the number of paths. What number of mythic paths will have spell books?
Uh,
Can you share that information?
yeah, all of them,
Nice.
literally. I don't actually
So
know about the late game ones, the legend, the dragon, and the swarm that
Swarm.
walks. But all the uh, main mythic paths will have them.
And how they will be useful for any character, yes?
Yes, that was the one of the main pillars of us designing the spells. Uh, every mythic spellbook should have spells that are useful for different characters. So uh, a warrior will find useful spells in the Lich spellbook, and a wizard will find uh, good spells in the Demon spellbook. Uh, it's obviously more natural for a fighter to be a demon and for a wizard to be a lich, but it doesn't mean you won't get any power from them.
Well, support unorthodox play styles is pretty good, I think. So people can do some weird stuff and find weird builds
Yeah,
like they always do.
we don't know. Maybe some of the players will find a way to make a demon wizard the most powerful creature in the world, and well, okay.
Yeah, that's part of the fun. You can build a really strong character with something really weird. Why not? And there's a question from Bardade Ghidorah. Question: how will dismemberment work? Will it be a graphical thing or would it have some mechanics to it?
Uh,
I don't think there were any mechanics to it.
no,
Or
I
am I
don't
wrong?
think. Actually, don't know for sure,
Yeah, I'm
but
also not sure.
I'm 100% sure that the visual part will be there. I don't know about the mechanical one.
There's question from Jones 1004. I'm not sure. I think you might know the answer. Will my choice of class determine what choices of mythic paths that I will have later in the game?
No.
They will. Yeah.
Uh,
So yes.
your class doesn't matter. You can be anything, anything. You can become a demon paladin, but you probably will have to stop being lawful good so you won't retain your paladin powers. And I think it's totally okay. And it's
There's,
totally right. You shouldn't be a demon mythic with paladin powers. That doesn't
yeah.
make
It
sense.
would be really weird. Yeah.
But
Like
but well, you can do it.
you might suffer from it though.
Yeah,
So
suffer from your life choices. It's so
It's a part of making your own story, I guess.
yep.
yeah.
You can
So
think
don't blame us,
of it
please.
this way.
There's actually an interesting question from Gluten Free Donut. Will there be an indicator that would show which buffs, debuffs, skill effects stack and which don't?
We plan to do those. It's one of the things that our tutorial guy didn't understand in the first game. So, and it's a really important part. We want to actually uh, highlight things that don't stack, show you where you did something wrong, and stuff like this. It's one of the things we want to do.
So there's another question about mechanics is from Bulk of the Fear. How do Demon and Blood Rage Barbarian stack? Both the class and Mythic, but give separate rages.
Your Blood Rage or Barbarian Rage will you will get all the benefits while in the Demonic Rage. So there are classes that stack well with different mythics, and Barbarian and Blood Rage and Demon are closely tied in this regard.
That's actually interesting that they might complement each other.
Well, it was one of the other
Ideas?
pillars in the creating of the
Uh,
mythic paths.
the thing that makes you even stronger.
Yeah.
Plays on your strong parts. Also, there's a question from Kalam Soulstealer. Do you have to wait for a later part of the game to unlock some mythic paths? If so, does it mean you won't be mythic until, for example, level 14?
Uh, First of all, you start with uh, there is a saying in Russian which is basically a spherical hose in a vacuum. Uh, you start a spherical hose in vacuum mythic, so you're just a mythic character. So you're not tied to any uh, to a to a certain mythic. Uh, at some point of the game, you actually have the opportunity to go by one of the mythic paths, and by that time you will be able to unlock all of the mythics that are unlockable by that time, all the basic mythics.
There's a question about favorite bug report suggestion you received from players during the alpha so far. Do you have any? I know that you read through the chat pretty often, Discord.
Well, it's
Was there
Friday
anything?
evening, 10:30. Sorry, I can't think of one.
We might later share some of them if there will be any. We have a separate post about some old memories on our Twitter, Facebook, and VK, where we share some old stories, some weird bug reports, and stuff like that. So something like that might get into our social media. So you should subscribe to it if you know what I mean. So Road Running asks, will we be able to
And you always you also may want to subscribe to our
Twitch,
Instagram soon enough.
Twitch, YouTube, subscribe everywhere and press that bell. Thank you. Sorry. Um, there was a question about will the Azata Dragon be a spellcaster with Bard and Divine Spell like in paper rules or an Earth version? I actually don't know anything about
I'm actually not the guy who
paper.
designed or made Azata, is making Azata. So I'm not sure. If I remember correctly, Azata's dragon is a spellcaster. Yeah, I think.
Having some freedom. That's an interesting one, I think, for people who don't play Alpha. Insburn asks, can only the player character get a mythic path? Or could, say, player character be a lich, one companion be a swarm that walks, and another companion be a trickster?
No, the only real mythic character is your main character. Others get some mythic powers, feats, abilities, but they are not the real mythic. Look at it like that. Your main character shares his mythic powers with his companions. They are not mythics by themselves. They are mythics because you are with them.
Also, there's a comment from Jan Ferrite. Could you please let us build all companions from level 1, unburdened with questionable feat and class choices they normally come with? I think the answer is actually no, because the that is their story part of what they are, no?
Yes. You see, most of the characters will be with you from the start, from level 1. So you won't have to deal with our choices. uh, with our choices up from 2 level and higher. But some characters who join late in the game will have their levels fixed, so that the story doesn't break. It will be strange for a gnome Hell Knight not to be a Hell Knight, for example. Super strange, and we think that consistency is more important than mechanical uh, greatness of your companions.
Yeah, because that's important for the story and for them. It's somewhat even more interesting to find options how to make them really powerful.
Yeah, there are options, and we always make characters with something in mind. So I know, for example, that there are lots of guys in Alpha who don't really like Camelia's build, uh, and we understand she's a She's a difficult character to mechanically build her right, but she can be super powerful. And yes, there will be people who won't be able to uh, get the get her power from her, but that's life.
Yeah, and some unorthodox builds are really interesting. For example, I remember one of them was for Valerie with Bard levels,
Yeah,
and it really shined.
it shined and it was really popular, and for sure we didn't design her to be a bard, but well, she was a pretty awesome one.
So if you want to maximize your companions, there's always a way. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting another question about mechanics. Torpedo Bench asks, unlike bards, the Skull's inspired rage may not be beneficial for all party members. Like spellcard says, on tabletop, party members may choose to accept the Skull's rage or not. Will something like that be implemented in the game?
Uh, yes. As the person who actually makes this Scald class, yes, it will be implemented. There will be an activatable ability, uh, which is basically, do you want to accept Scald's Inspire Rage or not? And for every character, it will save throughout the game, so you will only have to pick it once, or if you want to change your decision, so that every time you activate the Scald's Inspire Rage, you don't have to uh, make all the manually pick it for every character.
That's really good, and that answers it. So there's Knight09 who asked this question several times. Will there be a way to roll for stats and or input custom stats?
I know everybody, not
Love
everybody.
to roll.
There are lots of people who like to roll stats, and I remember when I was playing, I think now Winter Nights, I was clicking the stats they were recommended, and it was some other game. I don't remember. Sorry. Uh, okay. I won't go down the memory lane. So, uh, yeah, no, we won't make it because in the end, it's a little bit strange because if you want to roll, then maybe we should just let you pick your scores. And it's strange.
I found point buy a bit more consistent actually, and well, it is really fun to roll and to see your stats. Sometimes you look at them and say, "I wish I point buy."
Oh, and I personally hate rolling stats because my luck is super bad, and it's so bad that usually when I roll uh, when I roll stats for my Warhammer characters, they're like 20% below the median, so
Average.
yeah, below
Yep.
the average, and it's awful.
Uh,
So I like point buy.
I want to address again the question of bulk of the fear. Will there be a skill to dismiss ongoing spell effects? Yeah, okay, I said that we want to make an option to dismiss them, but again,
Yeah,
is it set in stone or not?
there are lots of features that we want to, but we don't know
Yeah,
if we will be able to.
it seems people don't have more questions. Do you have any more questions? Please ask them.
There was
Uh,
one question that, as far as I understood, the person asked multiple times, but we didn't see it. Will we be able to ride a giant centipede as a mount?
I
that's
don't
important
think
question.
so. Um,
Oh my god, there's
I
one
don't think
really
so.
important question. Bar Daddy Ghidorah asks, can we pet our animal companions?
Whew.
Oh, I
Of-
remember spoken about it some time ago, and
I think
we
there
still
won't
don't
be an
know.
option. Well, yeah, it's something that might be good, but it's a small feature that requires a lot of effort, and there are much more things that we want to make. So it's not on the top of the list.
Okay, I see an important question, a really important one, and I have to answer it. Uh,
What is the question?
can we get Platypus as a companion? Sorry,
Damn.
but no.
Yes.
Uh,
Why?
Sorry. I know Platypus. Platypus is Platypusy. I don't know. They're super cute and well, but no.
You just hate them. Anyway, there was a question about additional animal companions. Will there be any?
Uh, well, yeah. Yes, there will be
The
additional animal
new?
companions.
New.
New.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't tell us.
Dinosaurs?
Except dinosaurs,
Dinosaurs
obviously.
and horses and pony, probably.
Uh, will there be murder spawning?
Phagistic murder spawning.
Yep. Invisible murder spawning.
They are around us always.
That reminds me
I think
about a
we've left
story
them
from
in the studio,
Uh,
back at office.
I think you.
Oh, does anybody feed them?
Do
I
you
think they
see
can
any
feed themselves.
now? That's because they're invisible.
True. Uh, that's an interesting question from Academia. Will we get grace for our fallen companions?
I don't know. And I
But
don't think so. After all, you can use
good.
raise dead on them. There is no reason to actually dig a grave
Bury
for
them.
us. Yeah.
Uh, Strategimini asks, will there be changes to how familiars work? Can we cast spells through them?
Uh, we were not planning on improving the familiars much or at all for now.
And there's Forsaken 92. What questions about Heroes of Might and Magic for army fights do you have about tactical combat?
No,
Can you?
it's too early. Sorry. Uh, it's still during in the design stage, so I can't actually tell anything about it.
As of free third asks, will there be more of the missing archetypes better during the alpha? I don't think so. The alpha is in itself finished. It's like alpha version. I don't think there was planned any more content. Maybe a fix or two.
No, no. Nothing new mechanically will not be added to alpha. Probably, most probably.
Oh, and Bulk of the Fear asked an interesting question. What are the plans for crafting in Wrath? Can we share
Oh,
anything?
we plan on. Uh, okay. It's not about the crafting system, but the resting system will be different from Kingmaker, and one of the things we thought about doing with the resting system is actually crafting, but it's still not a finished design, so I can't say anything now.
It may not be the thing that you imagine when you say crafting.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah.
quite that.
it might not be that infinite possibility that Pathfinder offers with crafting because I think it's insane to implement. It's nearly unreal, I think, to just recreate all those options and all those weapons and all that stuff you can make with time you can have. That's really might be too much. There was a question from Strategimini about loot distribution, but I'm not sure what does he mean. Ah, he asks about randomization in loot drop,
Uh,
like Beneath from Stolen Lands.
no, we don't plan on making the system like in Beneath the Stolen Lands in our main campaign.
And there's question from Gluten Free Donut. Well, nice name. If you find a kingmaker whenever main character is down, the game is over. Is it so? I think only if
Yeah,
he's dead,
it is so. Well,
which
when
makes it hard to
he's
play.
dead, yeah.
Yeah, when he's dead, not on zero. Which means that makes it hard to play melee assassin type of characters on hard level. Companions get back after fight, or you can resurrect them if needed. Will be changed in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, so the main characters can be brought back after the fight.
We actually thought about that because, well, it's a bit strange when you have a cleric with raised dead and your main character is like here and he can just cast a spell and everything is back to normal. So yeah, we'll probably change this.
And what about Last Atlantis mode? You will die. The game will end when you die, right?
Uh, Now, yes.
And in water,
Well, I'm not sure
that's
how Last Atlantic mods. I haven't ever played on it, so sorry.
that would be interesting thing, yeah. Uh, Martinez asks, is there any news on mod support? Currently, there are no news on mod support.
Yeah.
We are looking for the options, how it could be implemented, and when we are ready, we will reveal more information to our community because it will be interesting to read your opinion and get feedback. And we will discuss it a bit with our mod makers because they are ones who will benefit most from it.
Yeah. Well, they're the people the thing is
Yeah,
made for. So
for not only them, but everyone who wants to add something to our game and make it more for their taste and better for others. Why not?
yeah.
More options is always better. But I think there might be a problem to add more classes to the game now.
Well, no. People like adding classes, like adding archetypes, and well,
True.
why not?
Third party stuff, or
Third
maybe
party
some
stuff.
homebrew.
Maybe. Well, we didn't add all the classes in the game. It's not impossible. So
True. Dark Heaven 2 zeros asks how many decks of many things can we get? I think
uh,
it's zero.
I'd say it like this. You will get as much decks of many things in Wrath as there were cards in the deck and many things in Kingmaker. So yes, zero.
That was a witty answer, but okay, yeah. Though you might like playing Trickster because it might be like playing a living deck of many things.
It's an awful thing. Last time my character actually used it, he uh, got a giant fort for him, a servant, and forgot who he was.
Uh, and
There's an
for me,
interesting.
can I will say about my experience also with deck of many things because my soul was stolen by Demon Lord. Was stolen by Demon Lord, and it was pretty fun. So what was the question? Sorry, Lisa.
It's okay. It's quite difficult for me to manage now.
I understand. Sorry.
I like this one question. I don't know is there any answer for it, but um, are there any mods except turn-based, other than turn-based that we found inspiring? Duck1100 asks.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
really
I'll answer this question like this. Uh, every mod our mod makers make is inspiring in one way or another. Uh, for Firstly, it makes us even more sure that the players are interested in what we are doing. They want to take part in the process. They want to make our game even better. So it inspires us, at least in this way. Uh, some mods show us the possibility that we didn't really think about, like the turn-based mod. It was a really interesting thing to see that one person could, uh, using very obscure methods, make a really good turn-based mod for our game. Uh, so we we for sure don't know all the mods that were made for our game, but we always look at the not always, sometimes look at the most popular ones, just to be in the loop of what people want most, I think.
yeah. Seeing you is amazing.
Yeah.
Very grateful to hear. And there's a question from Man of Sneed. Scout has an ability to copy spells from other spellbooks, and spell level is his only restriction. How are you going to implement it?
Uh, it's currently under development, so I can't tell you for now.
Also, you talked about inspiration, and we asked Kai about where he took his inspiration. Do you take inspiration from somewhere, from some media, books,
Oh,
films?
inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration question.
You know that human is a very strange thing, and
Yes.
human's brain can get inspiration from a I don't know, from a leaf falling from a tree, from a storm out of the window, from a bug running across your chair, and something like this. Yes, we for sure take inspiration from all the media we take in, from the games we play, from the series we watch, from the films we watch, from the books we read, from I don't know, talking about crazy bad shit with our colleagues and stuff. So yeah, we
Well, I was asking about you.
And from
Like,
players suffer.
play suffering is yeah, it's important. As for me, my primary source of inspiration.
is silence?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah,
Yep.
from silence. Lots of things. I don't know where my inspiration particularly comes from. It's just,
Maybe from the abyss?
yeah, maybe from the abyss, maybe from the shower. So,
That's actually a good answer. You
Uh,
wonders.
I wonder if the game designer's profession like requires so much inspiration. Like, is there a thing
well,
Well,
in your work?
probably we don't need as much inspiration as narrative designers need, or even community managers, because we don't. It
we
depends.
don't.
It really depends. Uh, while we are working on Pathfinder, when most of the things are, set in stone in some kind of way, uh, not set in stone, but nearly. Uh, we don't need to use so many brain cells to think about features. But well, when we're doing some new stuff like our mythic abilities, uh, I drew inspiration for them from different games I've met, from different concepts in my head, from I don't know ideas, images in my head. So we still need some inspiration.
We always need inspiration,
Yeah,
at least
and
for memes.
and good food.
What a what a romantic note to end our stream, maybe.
Well, maybe one question.
Sure.
Um, there was an interesting one. Are you from Jan Ferrite? Are you positive that in release will be level 10 by the end of chapter 2?
No, I think a bit less. I think by the end of chapter 2 you should be level 9, if I remember correctly. Our plan.
Well, there's some other questions, but I think it's a bit late, and it is Friday evening, and we had a small work week. So we might end on this, and we can make another stream with your questions again.
Sure, we can. And I need to remind you that we'll have another stream, a role-playing stream, just in 2 days.
And another one in 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please come by, join us.
Yeah, drop by on the stream on Sunday. What will be played on on Sunday?
We will be playing some Pathfinder-like homebrew role-playing game.
Okay.
We
And
already started it a couple weeks ago, so you can find records on our YouTube channel and watch the place when we start.
we and on Wednesday we will play only War,
Yeah. Our Legion
the
of
game for
Delegation.
the game in Warhammer's 30,000 universe, where we play as guardsmen. Just me.
And
That's
we
delegate.
see how are you excited? How many questions you have had today? So I guess we'll surely make another question, another stream and
And
answer stream.
I'm sorry that we were not able to answer all the questions. I think some of them we missed. Some of them came late, and it's time for us to actually end the stream. So we'll answer them next time. It's
And oh,
Thank you for
oh,
visiting us.
no one asked about the Baker portal, so I guess I don't need to answer all these questions in our private messages and uh, why
There were
people.
there actually were questions about bakers and rewards, but we just don't know about some of them, so we couldn't answer.
There were. I just didn't see them.
There were two of them. One
You.
about the tier with quest, I think, and the other one about reward for RPG Codex.
Uh,
Sorry.
so we're connected with RPG Codex, and I think we'll privately. Um,
I've answered it earlier that we're
uh,
working on it.
yeah, we'll answer directly for those people. Everything will be okay. We're working on it. Everyone will be rewarded.
Ah, yeah. The question about Wonders item tier, we don't know. When we'll ask. I think it. InanKy, can you know something about that?
I think it's a question to Gusev Akapish. So no, sorry, I don't know. It'll probably be soon. As it takes some time to actually talk to people and make an item they really want. So
You can hit Jekyll 201. You can hit us in direct messages on Discord, and we'll try your answer question. To answer your question, sorry.
I just want to ask once again if you have any problems with the portal, any questions, any like bugs, or you just may think it is some error. Please don't ask them anywhere on the internet. Go directly to us, and we will help you. That's
our
what we're doing.
yeah, our community managers are quite hardworking guys and pretty awesome ones. So feel free to ask them.
You can go to you can email to team at allcatgames.com. You can private message on Kickstarter to the Allcat Games, and you can hit us on Discord, right?
Also, I want to answer the guy. Health Zero. My man's Mort, get some sleep. I can see them bags under your eyes. And I can answer only with one quote. Justice never sleeps. Oh, evil never sleeps, and justice is ever vigilant. Sorry.
That's a lie. You cannot see me.
Okay, so guys, it's really
I mocked it up.
past 11
Yeah.
in Moscow, so we should stop this. Uh,
It was nice to see you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping by and watching this.
Goodbye,
And thank you for your
everybody.
questions. Yeah,
Bye
goodbye.
bye.
Bye.